Information Technology. The chair for that group is Ms. Georges, and the vice chair is Mr. Webster. That was discussed at the joint board meeting in December. It was also published in the newspaper. We had one addition. We had one more person from St. Croix because we had a concern at the last meeting, which I know will come up because there was authorized 8, but nobody applied as of the closing date on December 6th. So the board chair addressed that, and they got one other person in the name of Ms. Mary Moorhead. Ms. Georges said that she will take anyone up to the end of January. After that, they're moving forward with the names and the persons that they have.
I think, if I may interrupt them, we need to do something about the persons from St. John. Someone don't even know what BIT.
Why you don't leave Ms. Fox go through and then make a note of what you want and then come back to it? Because I think there's a number of things we didn't want to ask about, most of anything she makes.
Oh, okay, because we would have sent out the email for the person way to meet. For the person from St. John. Okay.
And you can get it? Yeah.
The status of election funds, that request went out to the commission on the 9th of December. I also followed up when we got back in the office on the 7th, and no response to date. I called again last week, they were working on it. Also, the status of the stipend. They had a concern in the St. Croix district because some of the folks are retired, and when you submit your stipend, you're getting deductions from it. So I'm getting clarification because other boards, they do not deduct anything from this stipend. So once I get a clarification from finance, not from anybody word of mouth, I'm getting documentation and we'll correct what we can. I can't tell you we could correct back, but that'll be on finance to correct if some folks have been receiving incorrect checks. We also sent out the letter to the political parties referenced the primary that went out on the 7th as per subsection 232. I think we sent each board member a copy of that letter, so that we should political parties. Working on requests for proposals, talk about the public relations officer for the joint board, especially for this campaign and the new BS 200, etc. coming up. So I'm working with procurement to get it out as a bid. Still working the ADA issues in St. Croix with 2,600 square feet, 1,000 square feet renovation. That was submitted on the 15th. You were hearing the news coming up this week. We have more issues that we're taking care of in St. Croix with Sunny Eyes management. The boarding equipment technician and the computer programmer, I'm working with ES&S to get some of the scope of work so that we can send it out to property and procurement. Again, as discussed when she was here, the goal is you put it out, you might get 20-something applicants or whatever, then they'll go down to 3. She will train 3 and then select 1 out of that 3. So again, that's between the board and ES&S. I submitted to the Attorney General Office for legal opinions. The questionnaire that came in, again, no response on that yet. I thought the attorney would be here today. She could give us an update. We also had a clarification in section 45 because both board chairs are saying the same thing, but some of the board members don't agree. So we got the response on that one. And that's where you see the admin position in St. Croix was sent out. And the board is going to be the one selecting that person. Sending out to what's going to happen in St. Thomas. In the reform measures that we were looking at, here are some concerns from citizens. We also need to look at compensation for the clerks and the inspectors. I think that was last updated in 2009. A lot of them are complaining that the salary is low again. By the time they take out all the taxes, etc., from the amount that they're receiving, they go home with nothing. So that's something, again, connected with the reform measures. We also have the electronic voting laws, Act 5281, Bill 1701, and Act 7334, Bill 29007, Section 3, and Chapter 20, Section 521 that was submitted. Again, you have senators saying that we are obligated to get an electronic voting equipment, and again, we get this updated from the Attorney General, so the joint board speaks with one voice. It comes out at least at the next meeting. And if the DS200 and the automat is what we're going to utilize, then that's what we're going to utilize and go forward. Again, based on some information we got from Duval County folks that was here. But again, we just need the opinion based on these 2 laws and then we'll joint effort. Administrative assistant for St. Croix that was closed on the 13th. Like I mentioned, the board will select a person. They have 40 applicants, so I assume St. Thomas will be still a pipe. And we had a question, there was the applicant from St. Thomas, so that was the transfer to St. Thomas. That's a good thing. So I get with St. Thomas today. The chair will let me know when they're ready to advertise. We checked with the Department of Personnel. Ms. Benjamin, process is ongoing, so it's not an issue with advertising her position. She can talk to you outside the leave, but other than that, she's
Well, I think we discussed those,
Yeah.
any legal matter and or
After.
personal matter.
The one I was jumping to, the Harvard Audit Consultant, they sent me an email ending of December. I think most folks know after the audit, they will assign someone to work with us to clarify the financial outstanding issues that they had on the audit report. So I'm awaiting the name of the person who's going to be assigned. I'm sure they're going to be in the territory for a number of months. Also working with finance and other entities that deal with this financial questions or concerns they may have. In your documents, they also a travel request form that we develop for conferences, etc. that any board member is going to attend. A travel request form that's signed either by your chair or the joint chair. So we can have a mechanism in place for folks that submit for conferences and not blaming ESBI, election system doing processing, or that it's costly and the board chair decide that we can't attend, and instead the advisor has cancel your trip, etc.
With the understanding still that it takes 4 board members to any board member to leave.
Well, the only one I had issues with, the only person I had a question with before was the chair, and they said that the chair just went through the fight on the chair, and the full person have to sign the chairs. But the members is up to the, whatever you have established. So who signs the chair?
Well, I think what happened, even if a chair signs it, it's perfunctory. I think the approval has to come from the board. The board, majority of the board, in terms of, unless it's unauthorized travel, but a board authorizes, I don't think a chair specifically can determine, I would not feel I could determine whether a board member travels or not. I think that's a board decision. You think? We could discuss that a little bit more. We could discuss that a little bit more when I don't want to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. That issue came up so many times.
I have you on the mail.
Yeah, it's starting.
Account Act 4934, voter registration at least one Saturday a month since we're in the election year prior to November. So I'm putting that on the board, so you can schedule, at least give me the dates, we're looking at 3 months, and so we can publish it in the newspaper. Against employment last, so they are going to schedule this for the Sunday coming. And you just so late in the month, I'm not sure if you're going to do a January or you'll start in February. So again, it's something board. Still employing, we said if you do 2 Saturdays a month, so let me know what's going to do.
We discussed that in number 5.
And this is my job.
Right.
Before I mention some mistake that I discussed earlier. The cancellation list is completed. I just posted St. Croix on last week. I'm going to look here and sign it to St. Thomas. Put it up in the post office and the library. Again, because it's kind of late this year, we're looking at, I sent a letter to Human Services and also DMV, asking permission to publish this in their site because they have a lot of citizens that go there and everybody has computers. We also plan to put it on the website. So that should be out. So we want folks to check the list to see if they cancel and they can come in and re-register. The election calendar, we're trying to finalize that. Again, trying to reformat it and send it to the, as discussed at a joint board meeting, it's going to be signed by the chairs and the joint chair. Right, that's the last thing we have. And hopefully we can try to get it out at least maybe before the end of the month.
How China Brand seen it?
Yes,
Yes.
we're typing it up right now to finalize it.
And since it might be easier, if once he signs it, then since we had more privy to the information that he had, once he reviews it and sign it, I'm sure Ms. Wells and I will sign it immediately thereafter. That's fair enough as well. Well, you can't get to him first because we discussed it, so we are aware of it. He was not.
Yeah, well, because Ross and this working on it, so they will be filling each month they will come to the meeting. So he's kind of, other than the December meeting, these are weird and change, so I will make sure we see them. Also awaiting ESNS information and cost of placing photos on the ballot, and also the size of the ballot. And based on you put photos, they might extend it to 11 by 14, etc. So again, everybody was out for the holidays, everybody just get back to work, so we are working with ESNS. Our next teleconference should be next week, so again, I should get an update on that. Another issue we have is again, we have to discuss how much spoiled ballots per persons. January, board action, bring it up, so we get an finalize. Any member that have any issues or items for the joint board meeting agenda, need to submit it at least by the end of January to myself. The meeting right now is scheduled for the 14th in St. Croix, the same place. And again, because it's a busy weekend, hotels are very limited, so I discuss, then I give us a rate if you check to see where you get there. Carmola is selling more, it's winter season, Ali right now is fully booked. We're checking around what folks plan a year off.
Oh, I thought you said same place. No, you said
Cardiac Center, same place
for the meeting. Okay.
Hotels we try to change.
Okay.
There was a question last time about the stenographer and the cost. The stenographer costs $6.50 per page. The last report was like 117 pages and $125 for appearance. So the bills vary, but this one is appearance. Questions on it, but it varies. So that's basically what it costs charges. I haven't seen it one for St. Thomas, but I'm sure it's the same. I won't take on the same. Operational reports, so far December, St. Thomas registered 59 persons, and January registered 3. We were busy this morning, so I get voters card numbers, but I'll get that to you. Financial report, I put a copy in each of your folders so you can try to understand what we deal with when we talk about the finances. So again, here is it. So she had, the last bill was $885.50 for the stenographer. The financial report, just a quick overview, and again, after if you have questions, you can see me one-on-one. The first part, the top part is broken down in personal services, and that's really dealing with employee salaries over time. And that's where your stipend comes from, where you see fees and compensation, etc. Holiday pay, sick pay, and below is the fringe benefits, employee contribution, military health, workman comp, etc. So by the time you look at that, that's a bulk of the St. Thomas board budget.
Excuse me, sir. There's a reason why our pay is a little larger than our pay so light.
Yeah, what happens is a copy because they only do a report with St. Croix and St. Thomas, so we have to pull it apart. But we'll get it back up for you the next time. Okay, because we are learning this new system here. But, so we have to pull it apart and make the copies in the machine, but I'll make sure you get that right. So and the back with these other services, which is like I said, where most of your costs comes in, most applicable to the board. Right now it's bulk tickets and there for $1,000. That's going to go back and forth. There are two accounts that work on there, office supplies and travel when we attend conferences, etc. That's trying to be corrected. So right now you see a budget at $79,400. Look at the third column. It was adjusted. Again, it comes out to EFP. It doesn't really line up, but again, this is what comes out of finance. But first, we got 71. What was originally appropriation. Then they do some adjustments and they come up to 79,402. Like I said, out of that 1,000 is really applicable to the board. Why I'm sharing this also is because of the admin position that's upcoming. So the funds that will come out of personal services and fringe benefits, along with whatever you do for stipends around the year. If you look at your yearly figure, just the regular meetings, you do 7 board members at 12 meetings, month per month. $75, that's nearly $6,300. And if you do 4 board meetings quarterly, and the same 7, that's $2,100. So that's at least $8,000 for, and that's again if you're doing special meetings or any other emergency meeting. So all that comes out of your, after you utilize your fees and compensation, it will come out of the salary up above. So let's be considerate of that when you're looking at your admin position and what salary range you want to set for that person. And again, more to be discussed if you have questions. Overtime salaries also is in there. That's when they are working for elections. That's what that refers to.
The first question I have is,
No, you're saying the part?
Yes.
I got a question.
I got to.
I read in the paper that we're registering on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So you have
Not
to
this
just
year.
mention it regularly.
Okay.
We changed to that because we have a major issue in the department. We contracted with ANS for a lot of automation services of modules and for profile. From 2010, I would say we have not been using most of the modules, and the employee complaint is they don't have time to update their data. They put in 2012 alone. Most folks that are requesting information for historical purposes or voting purposes would like historical data, and it's not in there. If folks come in every day during the day to register, they can't get the database updated. So my goal is, with employees' input, that's what we came up with that, is to try 3 months to see where we are. We're going to do weekly assessments of where they are updating the data. Because what it is, they're taking one person's card. If you started the voting from the time you're 18, they have to put it every year you voted in the database, so that we can pull reports. We can do these automated reports that are required.
I think they're all supposed to put every time you vote.
That's right, that's what I said. Every time you vote, the history of every person. And it takes time and it's tedious. And so that was the recommendation. I'm going to try it for 3 months. And after that, I'm going to bring in higher help. Because again, the employees were like, I'm doing an assessment. I just came here in August and they was like, no, nobody can do it. I'm like, okay. But ESNS were here in December and they informed us that what they need to do and the other things that we need to do. So that's my goal. So I cannot have them try to see how far they get before I bring in help to get who we are. So that's why we do that modified schedule.
So follow-up question, will the poll book be ready for, because there was a little problem on the last election.
Exactly, and that's, you got employees. Employees don't want to change in the middle of the election.
No, I agree.
So I'm hearing the same thing now. We're not going to change in the middle of this election. So we're going up with both systems, the books and the e-book. Because this is a big year, and we don't want anybody to say we didn't have this and the information is not there.
And you weren't here, but I'm just saying the last election,
Exactly.
they said it wasn't going to be any. This is the last election, they said the black vote.
Exactly, and that's what we keep saying, that's when we go back to the same, but if the board wants to just go to equal book, fine, but that's my goal, they have to update the database.
What they were going to do the last time is when they didn't find the names on the equal book, the judge would call them here, and the master list is here, so that, but I understand, we'll make, when it
Yeah, we
goes
could
over
talk
that,
about that, and each board could do it, but that's the issue. And I'm for automation.
I understand.
And my point is, we pay this contractor every quarter,
I agree.
and we're not using these modules, and every excuse I heard it, Mr. Ableton briefed it, Mr. Ross said, every time we try to make the changes, is an election year, so no, we can't do it. But nobody did anything this last year to update the database. So now I'm finding folks asking for critical reports because they want to do analysis. Information is not in the database.
Before we go forward, I'm sorry. I want to let the record reflect that Member Claudia George is here, and she arrived at 10:32.
So at least you understand what you're talking about.
So that's what I
And well,
Yes, ma'am.
when you,
I have a question. No,
Yeah,
before I finish.
I'll
I'll do it 3 or 4 before I finish. The second question is, if you had a great idea, the board members are obligated to get one, or are we?
No, we could talk about that.
Yeah, I do.
I come, and like I said, I am a professional, and I try to do things professionally. I came in, I observed what we have here, I talked to the staff is not interested in ID. With us, because we interact with government agencies and the public a lot, I don't have to go around and say I'm Fox connection, I'm tired of that. So we pay for our own ID to get ID for this management, because I could pay to the management. Again, the same thing with board members, they brought that up, they wanted ID, so again, if you do, we have to work on that. I know everybody got their business card, so I make sure
No.
that's been done.
Excuse me, you said the staff said they didn't want it. Is that a
That's what
choice?
she said.
I'm saying when you first come into an organization, you
That's what she said.
assess, and then you make the changes. So I have half of that, but you will address.
Well, I'll look at it if the board gets it and starts doing it, then it could kind of.
If we get it and start doing it, then you will operate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Now I'm saying I'm assessing this organization. When you first come in management, the one-on-one, you don't change things widely.
No, I just wanted to know if that's a choice, because
She
It's a
just-
choice because the government don't issue it to them.
oh, so they have to pay for it, is what they say.
Well, we pay for it to them, but the
Yeah.
government didn't mandate it because, again, you gotta remember, we are semi-autonomous. And so that's why their premise was, they didn't need the ID card.
Like you say, when the.
But they don't
person comes
interact
in
with
to- Yeah, when somebody coming to register to vote, the
Okay.
first person in.
That's
my next question before I go forward.
business cards, we write it down. Business cards and ID.
And the last question, I'll come back with a yield to member. George is after this one.
My-
Wait, let me go to one and I'll let you go.
After
It
this
says,
one.
you stated a joint effort on whether it's a machine or any issue. And when you agreement, in the sense of joint, like everyone is on the same page, no matter what, especially what the board said. I just want to make sure you're in agreement with that because you had staff members sitting next to you that when the last board meeting we had, you guys went out for, I don't know if you, but they made a statement that they went outside for legal counsel. What issue was it that they mentioned that they went outside?
Section 45.
Okay, so they went on the decision on what that meant.
That was a wonderful position.
For the administration.
Administrative.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that you just said,
No,
I'm just
I went
putting you
to
on the spot.
the attorney general.
I think.
Well, I was there.
Hold on. I think we need to discuss that since it's a legal matter and it discusses personal and personal action. I think we need to hold that for a private session.
Are you to member George?
My question, number one, is pertaining to budget call. Have you been contacted by OMB? They told you when they're going to start that? Usually, the end of
They
January.
usually send us a letter. We haven't received a
You
letter.
haven't gotten the
Start
letter
it. We get correspondence to ONB regularly.
Also,
After their federal fees regularly.
okay, also I need a copy of Act 4934.
It's in the code page. I'm going to come up. Go ahead.
In my case, you have to tell me what section.
No, I'll get it from here, because I had it from here.
Oh, it's a whole section. It's look under like 1891 except. Okay, that's what we want to
It's on
discuss.
page 206.
That's what we want to discuss under
206.
under item 5.
On page 206, voter registration
And-
periods.
Ms. Fox, maybe what you should do, rather than quote any act that is already codified, just quote the code section.
It's not codified, it's on the bottom, no, that's the issue. It's not
In
codified.
fact, I read it. It's under 95, 91 except.
No, it's-
In terms of when you should have voter registration, yeah, man, it's codified. Anyway,
And with the,
it would be codified by now. Right.
and with the renovations, you have any idea how long that will be?
Is it correct? It's a budgetary requirement. Right now, we send this, let's drop the letter after public works, property and procurement, send it back to after public works. To have them, to have their engineers do it, and it'll be more expensive if you put it on that way. So I just dropped the letter after public works. I see for at least a year, nothing happened over time. So you have to get funding. So right now, we're trying to get an assessment of what it would cost to do the law. And then, I'm sending request to the legislature to appropriate funds for that.
Okay, the reason why I asked is because that also deals with the state plan.
And that's why I have chose to hold all the board meetings at the cardiac center. So I have no issues with the public
With
safety
the
and ADA issue
ADA compliant.
until we get it fixed. And in the St. John office, again, is funding. We have a site visit over there again tomorrow to look at some other options. And again, everything takes time and money, and you have to submit it through the legislature to get application.
Also, one piece of advice, if you're not able to get all of it done in this fiscal year, you convert as much money as possible. I'm finished.
You want to see if anybody else first?
Oh, my fault.
Anybody else have any questions?
You better talk once before you talk twice.
They get rules at hand. They get
Any questions? Going for?
Question.
Question.
With regard to this travel request that you presented, will there be an accompanying document that shows us what conferences and when conferences will be upcoming?
That was already
Okay, I
presented.
sent it out, it was in December, but here is a copy I brought, because there was two more was there, but here's a copy I transferred to the election center. This year and next year, but it was put in each person's envelope at least.
Well, it would seem Ms. Fox, based upon what you just said about the budget, there's no money for travel. So anyone who's outside on the conference, unless there's an appropriation transfer from the office, correct?
Correct. So we that's why I put it out, so we can.
And
Because in the past, it has been very conflicting as to who will travel. The board sits down and decides who would be next to travel. But in fact, when the opportunity came up, we found that somebody else, because of the connections, was put in front of. So we need to look into that as to, who would be the next individual to travel.
Ms. Fox.
Everybody can't go at the same time. So
Ms. Fox, that's not Ms. Fox rules. If Ms. Fox want to in fact authorize somebody from the board to utilize the officer supervisor funds, then that's up to Ms. Fox. If in fact it's a board authorized travel, then the board will in fact deal with that.
I just decided to mention that to make
Well,
she
you answered your question,
so she could
right?
be aware of what has
She
happened
answered
in the
your
past,
question.
and then we could avoid it in the future. Thank you.
So read their names and tell them what they're getting.
Anybody else? I have a lot. I have a few myself. Yeah, can I read and then? Go ahead.
No,
No,
go and since they go.
Oh, no, you want to go?
I'll go ahead for a quick second.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I was just following up on piggyback on what Member Monsanto said, that as long as the board makes that decision, 4 board members make the decision on who's going to travel. This isn't nothing new. When the Member Monsanto came out, it's been going on for years. 4 board members make a decision, and if that conference should be attended by who, yes.
Oh, a majority at the forum, of a forum.
That's correct, okay. Nice one.
For each district.
For each district.
That answer that, but I still went back question to the chair. When the chair wants to go, I remember we had a meeting in September, so they were there, and I asked, so what do you do? What do you do?
I think the board will have to approve, like, I look at the chairman.
So, that means the joint board will have to meet with the board.
I would approve who?
Chair, because the
So what?
chair.
Manager, I'm gonna check that she would, right now, she's in this district, it will be decided on.
Ready, so we'll have to meet.
In district.
Oh, the district.
Yeah.
Same board would do it.
Yeah. I don't think that.
So 4 members on the district, that's it.
No. The majority, but any decision of the board is based on the majority when a quorum is present. So it could be 3.
That's correct, right. I didn't know.
That's correct, that's what I'm saying.
You know, so.
That it can be 3.
Okay, one more question before you use to, memorize it. So you're saying back in number 8 is when you want to deal with any money and any legal issues?
We can, and if you have to, if you want to get into it, after a couple more questions, or move into a executive session to discuss that issue, we can do so.
Okay, well, no, the one last, no, okay, I'll deal with them. I'll deal with them. Okay, and you too.
I need to find out how many meetings can you attend? In other words, suppose one board meeting, one board member decides you need to go to one in January, February, March, April, May, and June.
You mean a travel?
Conferences, yeah.
A conferences. I think we have to look at it in terms of funding and what's reasonable.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But what's
The board decides, but that's why the board decides.
Correct, I don't know.
Not us, not one person. You know, I think that's the proper way.
I only have actually
One more.
Is inquiry budget is the same alignment as the St. Thomas?
Alignment, but not the amount.
Yeah, most of the investments can go in.
They
They always get more.
No, this year we're a little bit more, 5,000 more.
No, when they did this adjustment, that you were 79 and now we are 71. It's about the same, the only 2 things I was missing is office supplies and also travel. And so I guess that would all be this, like, well, the office supplies for now because it was already done, and nobody had anybody to submit that budget back the year before. So she's saying supplies that have to take it on the election system. Nobody submitted the election system budget for last year.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Well, you get what we got.
That's a lie. And furthermore, we did it from right here with Ms. Paulette Morris, number 1. Number 2, we are not mandated to submit a budget to MB. Clearly, it goes directly to the legislature. So when they say that to you, they are lying. We did submit a budget. Ms. Wells, Ms. Georges, myself, Ms. Benjamin sat here, constructed a budget, submitted it to Ms. Morris. And in fact, that's what was discussed at the legislature. So, anyway, that's what we're talking.
Now, I say that because last budget they had, what, 10,000?
They had a little bit,
10,000 more than that.
yeah, and it was a little bit
And
more this time.
most of it was for their travel, so that they go normally to the conference in July and August.
Yeah. Let me just say this so you can understand. The legislature ignored the budget presentation.
Correct.
Totally ignored the budget presentation because they are still under the guide that OMB make the recommendation on our behalf. So they totally ignored, and they did have OMB recommendation. That's exactly what they approved. So I don't know who would be telling me for that we need to submit the budget because they totally ignored what we submitted and they made a submission on their own.
Okay, that's what I've been saying about them. They do what they do.
Yeah, but we don't need to deal with OMB.
But they don't want to give you this money. and
But
that's
no, they do not give you the money. They do not give you the money. The money is appropriated by the legislature. They allegedly supposed to, in fact, disperse it per quarter. This is an independent, quasi-independent, the independent board. This is not an executive branch agency. And OMB has no authority. I don't know how much time I got to say, but until we start making sure that we make it done, we have to impress upon the legislature that they don't do it to the third, they don't do it to the Superior Court. We're not doing it all the time. And we can't expect us to function if we don't have the money to function. Correct? You know, and they totally ignore the budget request. But that's neither here nor there. I have a couple. May I, Mr. President?
Yeah, I'm finished. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chair, for all your patience.
I noticed you said that once a month, every Saturday? Yeah.
Okay. I have it there. Right.
So we will be taking our machines to a different location every month, once a month?
That's your board decision, yes. You're mandated to register voters. Register machine. You do machine if you want to, that's registration of voters.
Okay.
Can I piggyback on Member Hendricks?
Yeah, go ahead.
However, what we did in the past is we got a request from whatever nonprofit organization to us that was considered
Correct.
the mandate, so that we didn't do a second one. Just making sure that we're all on the same page on that.
Okay.
Chair, once again, thanks for the invitation.
Well done.
Still nothing happened, still nothing happened in Secret. They said they were going to do two, but then they had a request to, they take the cleaner figures that I read, so they used it like that one Sunday, and they make that what I felt about that one.
How did that
Where-
go?
Yeah, where do all that money come from that they do not leave voter registration?
where the money come
Who?
from? It's a new year, it's the just beginning.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that, but they get how much time they're going to show the machine? Ain't like close to 80 times? Yeah, what, schedule, how much?
Oh, you talk about the machine, where they have scheduled,
Have
they show it
scheduled.
here.
And
But
then-
some of that could come under Harbor, which is to be able to get out and go to the.
But it's not that we can't use Harbor.
We use it yet, but we don't know.
But we,
A consultant is coming, so that'll be addressed.
if we could use that, but I thought it's big on the radio that we can't use our money no more. What's that?
Everybody's coming.
Okay, just making sure I'm hearing it from that, was in my, that, if we
When
still
they
use our
come,
money.
when they come.
We can still use our money, just making sure that it's public on this.
So Thomas is federally, have a compliance.
Those,
St. Thomas, correct.
those notices for whatever was happening in St. Croix from St. Croix deputy, not to come over the road, not to the before, like next year. I wanted to come and say we have to do it the day before, because we in order everything. I told her, seemed like it was a good thing that plan.
That was like a data.
Yeah, the same letter we read in December,
Yeah.
so that they utilize that as one of their dates to go down that way. So that was Sunday, just this Sunday, so I haven't got any feedback.
I like to ask, I like to ask a question. I haven't asked anything yet. I want to let that person. Okay. On a new business statement clarification letter, that was sent to who?
Commissioner of Finance, whoever was the Commissioner of Finance.
And that's in regards to,
Board members who are retired are complaining
Okay.
that because they're taking taxes and social security out of their check.
I have the similar concern.
Correct, everybody that applies to. The folks that work for government who's currently working, they may have to take out of their account when they're doing this. But we've got to clarify.
I don't want not my money. I give you no authorization to take a cent from me.
So they were taking it out, they don't come to like seven.
No, it's not. I've been with it. It continues because nobody in the system cared about checking. That's why it continues. That's what finance says.
Especially somebody in your seat.
That's what finance says, and that's it. I personally going to
I already went, so wait and.
I'm personally going to Mr. Dawson and tell him I do not want any deduction from my check. It doesn't belong to nobody else other than me.
Is there a form?
Like you might ask.
Huh?
He's going to respond.
fill up.
Yeah,
No, let me tell you what he's supposed to do.
because I didn't fill out a I-9, a form. When I work for the government, I fill out a form that tells them what to deduct, how much dependents I want deducted and what I need to deduct. How do they know what to deduct? They don't know how to deduct for me. Anyway, be that.
But anyhow, that's why I brought clarification,
Right.
and we'll make the corrective action.
Number-
I heard about it since I came on.
Number 2, I like to state that I understand the problem with the staff. I believe that it's especially now when you hear all this talk about it, the election system and people challenging the election system. It's clearly a need to be very compliant with the law and to in fact have as much staff and resources to be compliant. Notwithstanding what you said about the Tuesday, Thursday registration, the law mandates 8 to 5 every day. And I wouldn't want the officer supervisor and the board election to be challenged on that. But until that is changed, I think we have to be compliant. I understand the challenges and the reasons for what you're suggesting. I think it's very, very good. It should be done, but the law does say 8 to 5. Just as it said that we must register people on Saturday during the election year, which is something we want to discuss, don't set up a schedule from now to the end of the year. That we need to be compliant because we have a lot of naysayers out there. We have a lot of people who want to see in here who continue to create issues. But on that, they're big on that. There are issues that we need to be compliant to make sure, especially with statutory law, in terms of that.
Every staff member here will be responsible for doing the updates that this boss is talking about.
Well, I mean, that's internal. But,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking.
but every staff member is a registrar.
That's the point I'm trying to get to.
I know, I agree. Listen, I have no problems with what she like to do and what the purpose is. You know?
Yeah.
I am just saying what the statutory provision where entitled I just say 91 except. Lesson from 91 through talks about registration. In there, it specifically talks about places, times, and we have to register. Just like we're mandated to register at every high school in the spring and in the fall, and with every high school and UVM, we are mandated to do so. But if practical on that, to get to it, we have to try to be as compliant as possible. And when we get to the point we start talking about it, I just wanted to be aware that I'm involved in. So, you know,
We have to say, it's not going to get done, so we have to do one thing. I'm saying the citizens, the same one calling for required reports and the database is not up to date. We pay the contractor every quarter thousands of dollars, and the folks can't do the work, they just can't.
well,
But anyhow,
we have people,
so I will take up the court and the judge and whoever wants to take us.
we have people in and out who
In
would like.
government, they do shut down the offices for certain things, and it's something you just have to do, whether it's the law or not.
Well, I say, we have people outside and inside of this board who has taken you to court, and this system to court. I will continue to do
I
so.
understand, Mr. One. I got the facts, you have to show, and it just ain't.
But I agree, but I'm just saying,
And then we said we should try and get some assistance from students and
That's how one you do that, so one, but we need to do something, do something.
my next question.
They really look at bringing folks who gotta have the money, so if you don't have some budget, I have to decide whether ADA compliant will bring on 3, 4, 5 people in the program.
but the students can do it for credit.
I did send
The business department has work.
I sent
Huh?
the internship.
Those are the girls have work.
Yeah, you well, I think this we discussed that with Ms. Ross before in terms of the every high school student have a qualification has to do a certain amount of community service to 100 hours of community service to qualify for graduation. So those are.
You don't want to know students just coming here with a database.
Well, I want to.
Experienced people and you want educated.
Hold on, please. You have no idea. I'm just saying what exists, and what can be utilized. I'm just saying what the state of the law is. And that's it. I ain't got in my head with what you do. Once everybody know what time it is, I don't want to be held accountable for nothing else that is being said.
I'm just saying that without the action, I send it to UVI to get intern from UVI. Send the letter out.
You see what I said? The officers of each board of election, all right? So that's what it said. They don't know what the office of the board of election is. The election system officer supervisor, but the law says this. There's so many different things it says there. But it said the office of the board of election. Now, we don't have an office that we register people by. That's what it says there.
Because even if you want to, they already say the administrative person who works for the board is the one that usually should be registering, so we could look at it.
And not only registered, have to be a registered voter. Have to be a registered voter. So
Listen, every election assistant by law is a registrar.
Yes, that's right.
Everybody in here is election assistant except the deputy and the supervisor.
No, the administrative assistant, everybody.
Everybody, we don't have one.
No, but I'm saying the person.
I said that it's a registrar. So everybody who works for the board, everybody who works for the election system, including board members, can register people.
Some
Everybody.
board members can't register.
Some people don't want to say that.
The only one that can register.
That is no work with the vote now.
Yeah, well, I understand.
All right, going back to
My
my
last,
registered voter, because well, member well mentioned that the student registered voter, you have to be a registered
well,
voter.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But that don't, a student don't mean that they're not registered. That's what I'm saying. My last question, the letter that was sent out pursuant to, and then you have a little typo here, 232. What basically does it say to the political party?
Oh, at least, you even honor the copy.
You remember, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
but I
I
have a
didn't
copy
know.
here to read. It's telling them pursuant to the law, they are required to conduct the election.
That's not true.
I
That's
mean,
why I like to say
no,
that.
here's the letter, sorry.
That's not what the law
Who
says.
sent this?
You get, send it, you go back.
Yeah, anyway, I know what it said. I mean, I
It
know what
says
it
here, I'm sending this letter on behalf of the joint board to remind you and members of your party application set forth in 18 BAC Code 232. Political parties are responsible for selecting party offices and candidates for public office. Please provide our office no later than February 14th with your party's intention to conduct a primary election for your party officers and other candidates for public office. Attached is copy of Title 18 BAC Code, Section 232. If you need additional information, Ms. Whitaker is information. We attached a copy of the BAC Code here.
Let me see it, please.
Yeah, it was sent.
All right. It's in the code, and it's the same thing. The 232 does not say what Ms. Bart's letter said. 232 says, the Board of Elections shall be responsible for certifying the process to be used by any political party to select party officers and candidates for public office. It doesn't say that the political parties select their candidates and give them to us. We're not going to do it. That's what makes the letter. Okay, well, you read the letter again.
A copy for
You read it.
I thought she said
Ready? Read it.
when the applications forth in the code, I am sending a letter on behalf of the joint board of election. Mind you, I am a member of the party of the application.
That's what it says.
To do what?
Application
To do what?
set forth in the code.
To do what?
In the code, political parties are responsible for selecting party officers.
But it doesn't say that. The Board of Elections, and I think we have to be very careful. The Board of Elections will be responsible for certifying the process to be used by any political party to select party officers or candidates for public office.
That's correct, but you have to tell them to do, they have to select, it says here right here, the law says, held in the for the first of August for the purpose of choosing candidates for nomination to public offices. We telling the party that they have to do nomination to public office to be voted on at the ensuing general election. This is what it says right here. So we remind them that their part, your part is the clarification to it, that's not what we're voting.
I'm quoting the law.
Yeah, but it says it right here.
I'm quoting the law. The party primary shall be held in the Virgin Islands, shall be held in the Virgin Islands second Saturday, now in August. Let me finish reading the fact, and then you can I have to read the code. Okay? Let me finish reading the code. For the purpose of choosing candidates for nomination to public office to be voted for in the ensuing general election. The Board of Elections will be responsible for certifying the process to be used by any political party to select party officers and candidates for public office. That won't tell the party that they have to conduct anything or submit any candidates to us. Furthermore, I don't know that the board has said to anyone or told the board, told any political party that they have to do something. That's what I read it, and I will go a step further. Our adoption of election calendar included a primary election. Who's supposed to conduct the primary election? Who's supposed to be conducting the primary election? And what is it for? On August 2nd. If it's not to select party candidates for public office, what is it not for? So I don't believe the Joint Board of Elections voted to remind anybody of the application.
The district board,
But it's a joint board.
the district board,
That's a joint board. Because I don't know, I didn't vote on anything, I don't know if any of you voted on anything to write anything to the party saying that.
the district board, you're the chair of this board. That's a question.
Just one.
Ms. Holt, was legal counsel informed of this meeting this morning? Ms. Salisbury? Yes. Is there some good reason why she's not here? Because it seems as
But
if...
she can't answer that.
I mean, anyway, I want the records to show that she's not here. Burden is falling on her shoulder.
A board may follow up and show
No,
that.
I'm saying you're explaining, but I'm saying she should be here.
Well, we can, if you want to ask, that we ask her for a legal opinion to explain 232, a formal opinion, and so be it. But I am not, what is read, but what is in that letter is inconsistent with what's in the code.
I understand your position.
Yeah, but she attacked the code, but that's inconsistent. Because I don't think number one, the joint board voted on anything, and number two, it doesn't say that they have any responsibility to do anything other than we have a responsibility to certify a process. And up to now, even though I heard people saying all kinds of different things last time I had a teleconference about what 232 says and it doesn't say. And I know it hasn't been changed since it was amended to be what it is, other than to change the date of the primary election. So I'm thinking all the time that we are having a primary election for the parties as usual. I didn't know that we had voted on another process. So that's my concern about that letter.
Did anyone see the copy of the letter prior to the letter?
Well, I haven't seen it, but I will not say I can't say anything because I was out of communication, so I can't say anything about it because that's my fault. That would be my fault. But I think we got to be careful when we make a representation on behalf of the board, without the board knowing or giving at least consent to that representation.
I would correct the district, St. Croix District Board requested it, so we will get back to that.
Well, if the St. Croix District Board requested it, that's St. Croix District Board requested it. That's all I have on Ms. Fox. Mr. Shelby.
The only one last one, really my personal one, a personal question was my certificate.
I checked with the judge this morning and I'll get the answer. I did tell her to process it and I'll find out if she did. I didn't remember and I'll get you a copy of the question.
And just let me say this, I don't want anybody to feel anything I say in these meetings is not personal. I'm just trying to do what I was elected to do and interpret the law as I see it and as I know it, for my protection and that of those who may want my city assistance.
Just don't have a right.
Then with the judges and then with...
Yeah, my question to Ms. Wax is pertaining to insurance. I don't know if this was brought to your attention, but we are not insured as the insurance.
For what purpose?
In the event that we are sued personally.
Yes. Most boards and commissions do have directors or board members, insurance, and since in fact it has become the trend, I guess it's a legitimate question and concern.
And it was looked into private, nothing else happened.
Nothing else happened.
We looked at
Prior to you coming up
the
here.
St. John Community Foundation, it's very
Well,
expensive.
all Ms. Fox, you may want to check with the attorney to find out what type of immunity, because board members may have immunity when in fact taking action on behalf of the board in terms of votes and things that protects us from any specific direct personal suit for any action that we take board action that we take, which may alleviate the necessity of purchasing insurance. But since we are so litigious these days, something that we may need to do. I'm done with my question. Yes, Mr. You finished with Jolly?
I'm finished.
Okay, Mr. Monsanto.
The chair just mentioned that we need to be following the 805, employees need to be 805.
No, that's not what I said.
Wait, listen. Anyway, my question really is, do you plan to institute the use of the time punch clocks that are in the system? And number two, who is now certifying the payrolls of the election system in the St. Thomas and Dunn district?
Through the chair, again, with the new supervisor, I'm assessing what's going on in both organizations. Again, you come here, you look at what's going on in St. Thomas, I have to look at the big picture. And I know whatever issues you had in the past, I can't come in with that information. I have to assess for myself. Everybody read in the audit report that they talk about the punch clock, but that was for folks that are working under federal funds. And the MTT, what was set in place because we are on an 8 to 5 straight 8 system. During elections, we have to work a lot of overtime. So when the system was first set up, it could not accommodate that schedule. We do have some issues, but a clock don't set issues for work ethics. You know, so I'm assessing it. I come to the federal system, we had clocks, and we discontinued using it. So I'm assessing the situation here, and then I will decide whether we need to institute clocks or not. We heard it in December at the board meeting, and we weren't there, we were brought up. I'm the supervisor, I have both sections, and if I institute something here, I have to institute it in St. Croix. I can't punish folks because people want folks punished. Or want folks fired. If you haven't fired them in the past, I just got here, and I'm assessing, and then we document, because you can't fire folks if you didn't document for the past years that they've been here. In regards to, what's the second question?
The certification of the payroll.
Right now, we are getting training, Ms. Babel and Ms. Whitaker. Because again, we had no training, we came on the job new, we get it from finance, and that's who certified Ms. Babel. So that is the certification. Correct. The governor signed off on all three of us as certified.
Good to know. Just for discussion's sake, I was at the door this morning when that couple came in, and the lady is a professor at the university, and she said, I was here since 9 o'clock trying to get in to register to vote, and she couldn't get in. And that's why I'm bringing up the matter of the punch clock, so that you could know that the office is open at a given hour, registration begins at a set hour or whatever, but that the office is open. There are times, perhaps Ms. Barbell may be locked down in her office. She doesn't know that an employee decided that they're going to leave, whether it's for lunch or whatever, that they should punch out and go, and when they come back in, they punch. That's the only way you're going to register. It's not a personal anything. It is just a matter of proper operation of the office. And this system, you're not here. You're not here. Ms. Barbell is relatively new. And yes, but I'm saying that every government institution is doing it.
Not every.
But I am not asking you to punch. I'm not asking Ms. Barbell to punch. I am saying the administrative.
I think Ms. Monsanto, I think she's hearing you, and you have to give her a chance. Ms. Fox hasn't been here, still ain't been here 6 months yet.
Not, but Mr.
Let her do the assessment.
Mr. Chair.
I understand what you're saying, I agree with you.
Mr. Chair, and it's only so that you don't.
I do agree with her.
You don't have.
Well, the law said it should be from 8 to 5.
And you should institute, because when somebody is certified, when Ms. Barbell certifies that payroll, what is she going to?
Yeah, but I'm saying, you're right. We don't know what specifically we have called a problem today.
It needs to be addressed.
Okay, well, we'll take care of it.
I got a question.
It's being addressed.
Do you have a security system? Under the security system, tell you when it's on and off?
Well, what's the first person coming up?
It tells you on, right?
That's the first person.
So it still tells you when we're open, so they'll let you know when we're open. Okay.
Security assistance.
Okay, the issues of the personnel issues and the legal issues, we discuss in the executive session as soon as we get to. The next item, if any other questions coming out of the supervisor's report, would be the setting of the calendar for district meeting for 2014. I have taken the liberty, if I may, to ask that to suggest if we can meet every third Thursday of the month this year. I could give you the dates specifically since I've been charting them since by the time this morning. The next one will be February 20th, if we agree, March 28th, February 7th, April 17th, May 15th, May 19th, yeah. No, I'm sorry, June 19th. I said May 15th, June 19th, July 17th, August 21st, September 18th.
So would have been nice if you had brought the calendar.
Well, we could run a copy of this. I should have, right? If I was doing good, right? But since you have a calendar, since you have a cell phone and you got a calendar in your cell phone.
What's the date for July?
July would be, not if we agree, and I don't make a recommendation, I would hope that, July would be the 17th, August would be the 21st, September would be the 18th, October would be the 16th, November would be the 20th, December would be the 18th. Now this is in addition to any other
Oh, wait,
time.
excuse me, August?
August.
But if people are going to the election center, then that is.
Well, I mean, if this is, you got proposed meeting
No,
date.
that's the
Yeah.
only one that
Yeah, and if we decide we don't want to have it, so be it. I'm just trying to say that we can, so that we can have a calendar to work from
Yeah.
and divert from different fast food. So I would like to ask that if we have to approve, that it be the third Thursday unless a majority decides that's not a practical.
Second.
Any objections? Hearing none? Third Thursdays of the month. Okay. Yes, Ms. Martin.
We hear, I don't know whether to do on the spot, but we hear discussion on the plan and program for voter registration, schedule for this week. What is being done about voter education for the St. Thomas St. John district?
Okay, and I think that's some new business that we could do this on a new business. I think we want to discuss, as we said, we vote the schedule of registration first, and then I think it's first touched on it already in terms of voter education. And I think she could explain that when we get into the new business, if we can hold that for a minute. The other item, number 5, was the discussion on the anti-91 except. That's basically what spells out the what our responsibility to register under this chapter. One of the, and as Ms. Fox said, we need to start scheduling registrations on Saturdays. Between now and that's when the date gets put. Well, not even October 1st, because we got to do it before. Yeah, we have to
It's
start.
general.
Yeah, but we got.
Yeah, unless Member Brian changes it.
We don't cut off for the primary too?
No.
But Charlie did before the
No,
primary.
just for the generals, just the generals.
I think it's cut off.
Yeah, for any election, Charlie did.
Any election.
It says each election.
Any election.
So both of them.
Any election.
Put it in folder, check the folder.
Right, it's 90,
That's traveling.
it's 95. Okay. I think it's 18, 95, it's between 91 and 95, all of them, everything is in there.
It's under 91.
Ah,
Under section 91.
91, right, 38? Yeah.
Each election.
Yeah. Each election. Each election. So we cut off. We cut off in July, and then start 5 days
Father,
after.
you have another tape.
No,
It's going to
on the other side.
Yeah.
Normally you prepare before you have.
Yeah.
The cutoff for also the
July 2nd. I don't remember if we have that in our calendar in this far. Let me see, I should have a draft. Let me see. I don't know if we have that in our calendar. We don't have that in our calendar this one. Okay?
I'm okay, I don't need any help with that.
July 1, 2014. July 1, 2014, for last day of registration.
For the primary. And for the general,
July 1, 30
the
days.
general,
It will be 30 days before the down.
which would be, what's it there?
It's oh, I'm looking at this is what we left up on.
October
If they run out, we have the action.
We should have it. October 5th? October 5th. Yeah.
For general.
Okay, yeah, but it's in the calendar. So, that's thing. So now, we need to decide on these Saturdays. When should we want to
Only
start?
during Saturdays, unless when we get a request from a nonprofit organization,
We can do it.
satisfy the mandate.
Miss, what can you come up? Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. We want to acknowledge, and we didn't acknowledge the fact that Ms. Barbell is here also sitting. We just called the board members and we didn't even though we have to talk about Ms. Barbell, we didn't formally acknowledge her. Now Ms. Whitaker has arrived, deputy from Central.
And you did acknowledge the audience, right?
The audience is there, right? 11,
You
we have
did
an
acknowledge their
audience.
presence.
Yes. 11:30.
You see that?
When we back from our
So, how do you want to handle these things? Twice a month? Twice a month, every Saturday? Twice, 2 Saturdays a month? We're starting when?
Chairman,
Let me just say this.
or something.
Yeah, but let me say this also. This is in addition to us having to get to all the high schools between now and, what the date was, now and July 1st.
That's what they allow you.
No, it's not allowing you. It's mandated by law.
Okay, anyway.
It's mandated by law. You could look at
You said the registration that we're doing, want to have a money. So we can take a demonstration machine and grab a money and register, have a money. Okay, well then I go.
well, it would pay for what, Ms. Paul?
I'm saying we should not expect money, so in fact, that to go out and do the registration.
So you
When we run out, yeah. If we run out, that will be the option.
I thought,
And once we start with the public affairs person, once we get a person and know what's happening with PSAs and whatnot, you may have to do some more registration.
okay, as you know, Ms. Paul, right, we mandated by law in the same section as I divide to go to each high school.
Only the 2 high school.
No, each,
Each high school.
not not public.
Okay,
So that means, and it says for cures. That means, I start with the smallest first. That means Give Hill, that means Montessori, that means Antilles, that means All Saints, that means St. Peter and Paul, that means, I don't know, some have a 12th grade, well, yes, some day at 10th grade, say, Charlotte Army High School, and Eugora Ken High School. So we are mandated by law to go to each one of those places for, it says here, a week. Some of the parochial schools we may not, it says a week. It says for a week.
Yeah, but those
No,
ones.
yeah. So, I crafted a letter because it shows all the responsibility pretty much on the board. So I crafted a letter on behalf of the board, starting with the two public high schools, and Miss Hendricks had made a touch base already with Miss Howell. Next week she'll touch base with Miss McCollum to start that process. We still want to go through seeing whether the students are willing and wanting to participate in what we call a mock election. In fact, we didn't discuss the ballots at any either, so we have to discuss that, what you want to do. So, Ms. Hendricks, you can go forward and tell them where we are.
Okay, I spoke with Ms. Howard at length last week, and we came up with the dates of February 9th, the week of February 9th. We will be doing Charlotte Avenue High School. She has allocated the lunch hour and after school. A list will be generated of all the 18-year-olds or 17-year-olds who will be eligible for the voting. We will go from the week of the 9th.
Okay.
I spoke with Ms. McCullough because I didn't have a letter to give to her, but since I saw her and I have a relationship with her, she said, whenever we come, she will be able to accommodate us. And I told her about generating the same list of all her 17 and 18-year-olds, and she said it was not a problem.
Any questions on the round of
I
lines?
suspect I will follow up the week after the 9th.
Right.
Well, she can call it a last board number.
What are we, to the chair, what are we prepared to do on
That's the one.
Registers the students.
no demonstration, just like.
Not at that time.
At what point are
We
we,
have a registration.
at what point are we going to do this mock election?
Well, we don't know. Why is there, and Ms. Fox and Ms. Hendrick, please comment on that. Why can't we show the machines during the week at high school and or at any of the schools when we do it?
We can.
Nothing. Ms. Fox,
But
is it?
that wouldn't be the mock election, that would just be the showing of the.
That would be showing, that would be a prerequisite. So if they want to do, if they want to do it, I don't think we should be forcing down the students' throat a mock election unless they want to participate and they want to craft it how they want to craft it. If we have their participation, that's very Ms. Fox.
And with this, for now we got the sample ballot, so you still could go with those sample ballot and
Right.
utilize until you get the mock ballots. So you still have ballots to utilize, you can take a few and have the students.
Which one are we talking about? Which sample
The ones
ballots?
that they take to the BMW that they brought.
Oh, you have some more?
Yeah, she brought some of them, and we have 2 packs here.
I did
That's
see
what we
those, however.
utilize it until we get the max ones.
And I
think we
saved-
should continue with that.
And I saved mine from with them too, from the Wild County.
And I spoke with Ms. Howell concerning those sample ballots that we have,
Yeah. Okay.
and it's not a problem.
Ms. Fox, do you have anything you want to comment as to that?
No, I think the same
Okay.
question that is, the question that is, was placing to other.
Okay. But you want to do,
No, that's what I'm saying, when you start the demonstration, so I'm saying, start with school, but once we get a date, we can publicize it, and then again, it's up to the body when they're ready to take out the machines, we get requests from certain organizations, we're also trying to put that out there a little more, if you know our organization have them submit requests, but again, it's up to the board members' availability and when they can take the machines out. We do have a machine in St. John, so I'm going to get tomorrow so we can at least get that one set up for demonstration, so folks will come in the office and look at that one. I think the employees were trained when she was here, but again, the schedule over there is Tuesday and Thursday. I'm not sure if you decide whether we want to take one.
We got to go get in.
Right, so we have a machine in St. John that you can utilize.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's a demonstration, they're going to start, again, but again, it's up to the board members when they can, and if you get a schedule in advance, we could advertise it or announce it. And, we try to get a public person on board so they could keep pushing some of the PSAs that we have to develop, based on this new machine, new equipment, and all that. So the education project is going to begin.
Okay.
As began is.
Mr. Daniel, one
Through the chair to Ms. Fox, do you advertise the opening of the St. John office in the media so that people can know it's open or
This time.
I haven't advertised it since I've been here. On the other hand, we were talking about PSLS training, so again, we could push that a little bit again. Each media costs money, so
No,
looking at that, but I'm saying I'll put it out there.
Yeah, but these won't cost.
PSAs.
PSAs, they won't cost money.
And the complaint is that when
Yeah.
every time they go there, it's never over.
Yeah, well, I mean, we need to know that they're coming, at least, when they're coming.
Even if off, like I suggested, I don't miss what it cut at my little recommendation suggestion. But even the good rules guide is a very, 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 it's a very diverse audience with his little public, yeah, with his.
Thank you for the responsibility.
I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just saying that I found that to be very,
Yeah,
you know.
We'll put it out there
Yeah.
again, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
And with regard to time limits, some folks are asking if we could run the 104 cars because it closes at 3. And some people quit work at 3:30 or, wherever they want to register. So if you
Well, maybe we need to make a concerted effort at the board. Maybe to go up on a Saturday. Maybe that should be the first place we should start on a Saturday and go up on a Saturday in St. John and announce the registration. That's what we want to discuss in terms of this number 5. We need to set up at least a schedule from now till April. I mean, we can start in St. John. We can start in St. John only next month. Or if that's too, you think that's too short, Ms. Park? We can start in the word February 1st, it's February 1st, we have February 1st.
Do it February 1st because February 8th
Right.
is the next Saturday.
Right.
I have a sorority meeting and that would be a good opportunity for us to use that Saturday.
February 1st?
It's 8th.
Okay, so February 1st, we can agree, St. John registration on Saturday. You know, you're gonna wait, but you're missing St. John. So
I mean, I'm not doing it.
were you set up everything for us up there?
Like I said.
Okay, good. Yeah. Are you working people to come and so on? But the next, well, yeah, we could do 10 to 2. 10 to 2.
And what are you going to do?
Ms. Fox, you left us
Not in our
with
office and stuff.
Don Paul Park, that's that. 10 to 2. 10 to 2.
You have to get permission from somebody to use that.
Maybe Housing Park, right?
Before you get up,
Go ahead.
does the board have a banner that says,
Yeah, we do. Okay. And so the next Saturdays in February is the 21st, the 22nd, the next Saturday. The only reason I jump in because the 8th is out. I am not going to be available the 15th. I don't want to stop there at a date when I know I'm not going to be available.
But we would have already done 2 Saturdays in February.
No, we only do one so far. Where's the other one?
You just said the 1st and the 8th.
No, the 8th, I got the 8th and tell me you're not one to do. Show my side.
Her group.
What's your
see that, her group.
Yeah, she
Oh, you want to do that, your group?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, where?
Conference school.
Okay. Yeah. I think she made that, she made it. Okay, your group, your sorority, what you name, what?
Iota Phi Lambda.
I wrote that.
check, you guys, we ain't food, we ain't like.
They're gonna take care of us.
Yes, we have food.
They're gonna take care of us. They have a lot of food from there.
That's what I'm saying, so.
Conquering.
Same time.
10 to 2?
No, we don't need all the time.
What you say, come on.
Our meeting starts at 12
Okay. So,
and we end at 3.
so 12 to 3.
No, we can't have
Okay, how much when you want?
3 to 4.
3 to 4, okay. You'll have refreshment and then so.
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Has to be a minimum of 2 hours.
Well, yeah.
Last year, that.
Yeah, it has to be 2.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
So what to do?
Then we can do from 2 to 4.
I'm sure that it's open to the public, so other individuals.
Conquering school. March, we don't do till April. March.
Where? What do you think?
I would suggest, Forward Plaza.
Yeah.
And that's something we need to talk to Ms. Fox about too. March 1?
Somewhere. Well, and then maybe the
12 to 2?
1.
Or 10 to 2?
12 to 2.
What's the two?
Don't forget, we're not taking into consideration if another somebody cannot come with organization.
Right. So we could.
We could always, you know, we could always
And,
do them. I don't think we should wait for them.
And
That requires one, not two.
and can we do March 22nd or March? Wait, hold on. March 22nd here?
When is Easter?
I don't know. Let me see. Spring begins on the 20th. Easter is, Easter Monday is April 21st.
Oh, okay.
Can we do the board of elections? Can we do the board of elections or the board of elections parking lot on the 22nd of March?
Sundays.
Not board, the election system office. Election system office or parking lot. We can
I think for
decide.
the parking lot, they don't have to come up and stay. The only thing you have to have a tent.
Yeah,
Oh, and that will cause some cars.
10 to 2, is that's okay? We would just need,
Oh, I need to check on this falls the.
we have one employee at here. And,
That's not done by that. That was done by the last supervisor. So this supervisor found the same thing as so we're saying that they were following the same thing as the last supervisor.
that we need,
We need an employee.
we didn't need employees, we need for assistance. We don't need to bring the stuff.
Before that, it was, the other model was measurement of the for the registration.
Except just for me.
Well, maybe that, but in Thomas, there was any individual that should ask. But I'm saying, we're following this about the class supervisor in suggestion.
I'm not so.
I want to pick up that items and do the registration. But if we're following class supervisor Abramson's suggestion, that I just need to know. So we're following class.
No, I'm not following anything, I'm just trying to do what's practical. I thought it was.
You're telling me she has to set someone.
No,
And she
I
doesn't have to
said
set someone.
she doesn't have
But
to.
if the board members are familiar with the process,
So, no, with
they're very good with the process. The last time we just have somebody here because they can't help.
employee.
Well, that's what Mr. Abramson started with that, because it helped the individual he felt wasn't doing the correct information. So I just need to know if you're going to follow.
I don't know, I'm not following Mr.
I'm just
Abramson.
asking you, can you ask her for somebody?
I asked if she wants.
So you ask her what she wants.
What do you want to talk about?
I ain't sure how much of these meetings are going to be making. We're making schedule, and we say which two board members, they have some two board members.
Well, we have the schedule and we
You
decide.
have to set your schedule between that 10 and 2 who's showing up with 2 board members, because they need to.
But I'm saying they keep making this date and they don't have no two board members yet. They just say.
I have all these days that I have committed to, I am available.
Okay, good. So now we're back to we following the
March 22nd of here, 10 to 2.
If the board members comfortable doing the process themselves.
Yes.
We did it.
So then
I mean,
Some of the members
So
don't
folks
know.
were on
some of them don't know.
some I agree, some others don't know.
Folks were on the way in the parking lot, when you got a little bit on there the other day.
I have done number of voter registrations without any employee. There's
I'm
not-
only asking her because she stated earlier that she's having problems in the sense of how much things she has. That thing is over time, but she said something.
Right. Well, it's up to-
We're not looking at what she has to do.
That's correct. Okay, that's correct.
I'm just saying, we're not following this, I'm just trying to get back to that.
And that they will not.
What's the dates for April?
April, I'm suggesting April 5th and April 19th, that we can do places and times to be announced.
You know, this father was a good idea. Rather than, like you say, like something new. One, we could come in here with your board, with the staff, or we could sit down and we could do some mock ones, you know what I'm saying? So that we
Those
go
who
over.
are familiar.
For those who are not familiar.
I got baptism by fire, so I know how to do that thing perfect. You know, so.
I think we should be honest and say who they don't know. Because they had a big,
May
registration and
May-
stuff. And I registered
May ready.
people.
Well, but Sandy registered people with a police record. You can't register somebody with a police record, you have to register with a board
What
certificate.
police record? The police record are you need to be registered. Police records are all on you.
The next
I
day
know
is
it was well done, so we
Well,
need to stop
May
throwing
5th,
words. You see, that's
May
the
5th
problem we
and May
have.
19th.
That's
We need
April.
to rise above the
Still the same for
foolishness.
me.
No, May, okay, April 5th and May 19th,
April 5th and April 19th.
Right.
Maybe-
April 19th is the Saturday before Easter, and the day after Good Friday.
I may not be an island.
So you wanna skip?
Well, I mean, that's
April,
what we
but
need.
we only do one in April then. Because after that is Carnival.
May 9th is the...
That other week is Carnival, unless you wanna do
A
one.
private saying something.
Oh, long
during the
time.
week. No, we could probably pick up our organization.
Okay. Okay. And then the last one before the
Or if
election.
you want, the lottery always has a chance that they found a selling like ticket to actually.
Where?
I can't know.
Oh, that you registered on there during Carnival?
If you want to.
That was a, well, you remember that would have been a perfect thing for Christmas.
Correct. Would have been perfect if we had the time.
We were there, so question was wrong.
May 5th is the only one. with-
Okay, so we end at
The
April
last
5th.
day,
We end at April 5th until our next meeting.
No, the lottery day.
But we don't know what that today is. I'll check on it and go back. Okay? I'll check on that and then we get back. Yes, ma'am. It's an item about the registration.
Oh, no.
When it's out.
The registration, yes. It's for, can one come in with just a birth certificate and register? Just a birth certificate, no picture ID, nothing, and register?
But we thought though, if somebody comes in with a birth certificate,
Certificate or passport or naturalization.
Yeah, but the passport have a picture.
That's the passport,
But if the last thing was.
yeah, but Ms. Fox, we gotta be careful because if I come in with a birth certificate saying I'm a true Watlington on the top.
Go to the street, hand it to somebody else.
How do you? I agree,
Yes,
I agree.
I don't know what it is, said. You-
But-
But that's happening even right now.
You know what? A birth certificate doesn't identify you. There's no picture on there. I think we have used our discretion.
Make sure that's back to the Senate has to make that change.
All right, so we got a birth certificate alone.
Election reform, and you have
Right.
the president who used to be the chair of the same district many years ago.
Okay, I'm just concerned because I think I have a right to question somebody's identity. If somebody brings me a birth certificate who looks like, that tells me that 20 years old and I seen somebody who's 30 years old, 40 years old, I have to need.
That's my
It's identity theft. So that's what's going wrong there.
Okay, so we end at April 5th and then we'll revisit it another time. Yes,
So
Mr.
it's April 5th from 10 to 2 again?
Yes, but we revisit time and place to be announced. Time and place to be announced.
Mr. Chair, this matter of the birth certificate, I feel needs immediate attention and not sometime later on, because just to use a birth certificate is not a healthy thing.
The law says, the boss is indicating the law says.
Wait, that's not finished. Many people are coming in with a birth certificate so they can get a picture ID. So we are being used because right now the banks are saying, I can't cash a check because you need a picture ID. Every bank is requiring you need a picture ID to cash a check or whatever. And many people can't cash the check, so therefore they come with a birth certificate, present it here, get an ID, and that's it. The ladies can't tell them because that's something the board has to decide how you're going to.
All right, listen, Ms. Monsanto. The manner of registration. Every person claiming the right to be registered as an election shall appear in person at the office of the board or such other place and shall present valid proof of U.S. citizenship and shall answer questions required to be asked in accordance with this chapter. That means, in fact, we have the right to inquire into one's identity. Okay?
And if you have a problem, she will go to the Senate.
And we do, and they do.
Yeah, okay. That's it.
That's who changes those, that's what I'm saying, they need to change that.
All right. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Discussion on the hiring of the administrative assistant to St. John. This one, question, because I still didn't understand the finances here. What are you based upon, first of all, in terms of our, any obligations that we may need to have to the past administrative assistant in terms of payment annual leave from our budget. Have there been anything configured as to what figure is going to go out?
It's being inputted in the personal system, and that will tell you what she owe, but again, they said I have to period and advertising because it's going to be prorated per month. So the funds is monthly, etc., up to whatever the salary is, and the impact will be advertising.
Well, but if she has 3 months, 2 months of annual leave. Okay.
I told you, and then you said we wanted to discuss the executive session.
Okay, good. All right.
I told you that.
All right, okay.
And then we hold it back.
Oh, yes, okay, we did.
You can't break it on rules.
Right, yes, it's my fault. Okay, okay. We need to hire someone. Okay. How you want to handle it?
How we talk about that?
Okay, you want to make a motion?
Well, you're talking about the state plan?
Okay, do the vote. I missed that.
That's what I gave back, and I get some of these.
Okay, Miss Georges is the lead person on that. The meeting is this afternoon. Miss Georges, you want to take it from there?
Yeah, the meeting is this afternoon at 2 o'clock at BIT, so we could have video conferencing capabilities between INO St. Croix and St. Thomas. Members, or should I say potential members, no, members for the council have already signed for books. I see that there's still one here, so I'll take that with me. It is Mr. Harrington.
It's Gibbs.
Okay, I'll take that with me because I did contact all of them who I did speak to on the phone. I did send an email if I wasn't able to get them on the telephone, and those persons did respond back to me. We already have the agenda, that's already out. You'd like to see a copy of it, I do have copies with me. And also the books that were prepared for to have the state plan, the last state plan that this body looked at, the election system.
And so that its record is clear and the audience will be aware. This state plan is being developed so that we can be compliant with HAVA in terms of the use and the spending of the Help America Vote Act. Mr. Bashalti?
Also at this time, could I add one more thing? I know I had that one-on-one with you, Chairman, but I want to make sure that everybody understands that any board member is welcome, or staff is welcome to come to the meetings when we have it and where we have it.
Are you to the member?
Yes, Ms.
There was a problem, Member George's with Mr. Terrell, because first he didn't know where BIT was. He's coming from St. John, all this kid down there. So there's going to be a problem with the person from St. John, so I need to discuss that. Probably need to change to somebody else, or something. But I'm going to try and figure out to do.
No problem.
Member, right, Mr. B.
Mike, this state plan, did we not have one when Mr. Emerson was here?
Yes, 2009.
Yes, copies.
And when you have the members that was on it before?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, what happened is we put out a public notice for people to respond, and people responded, and those are the people who were
I just
selected.
wanted to make it sound that it wasn't new, this state plan.
No,
When you
no.
update it, this is.
No, they need to be updated.
I understand, I want people to understand that I wasn't before, because now they're probably thinking this is coming about because of the audit. And they did not, this was there before.
And the people who are there. So anything else you want to add to that, Ms.
At this time, we'll also be, when we go down there, they're also going to have additional officers who are going to be elected. For example, your assistant secretary, a secretary, someone to do the public relation. I did have that discussion with the supervisor before. I know that this body had already discussed hiring someone to do our public relations stuff. So in the meantime, just to keep the ball rolling, we will have someone who will be assigned to do that. That's Sergeant Barnes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bashalti, you have a motion?
I'm moving, that will move to executive session. For the purpose of dealing with personal matters and legal matters.
Okay, before we go into that, Mr. Second, any objections? Hearing none, we'll move into the executive session as soon as this question is asked.
Through the chair to Ms. Georges, probably go into executive, but what's the status of the matter of the payment, the pay for the two deputy supervisors?
Oh, I just,
But let's do it. No.
No problem, I understand that. I just wanted to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into executive session.
The board's responsibility to electioneer
Yes, it is. We
Yes.
talk about that in our-
Not just the board,
Yeah.
not just the board. Guess who specifically?
The chair.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I
We don't have to be the tree, quorum, he makes that decision, he don't need
I
that,
don't feel that's right.
he don't need that
I think
decision.
that's all right.
Because my position,
But each district make up the
Yeah.
mind, we don't have to listen for the joint vote.
right,
No, that's not it.
you know, because we can prohibit electioneering at that site.
Correct.
Because it's not,
Make it right for
Yeah.
over.
yeah.
Well, you know.
Well, let's keep calling when you're ready.
You only to vote on the site because we have to notify the citizens.
Well,
if we change the
well,
site.
well,
And so
that's the only
we've been
place,
talking about this now.
that's the only place, that's the only place
That
that
would be
we,
different.
that would be different.
So we have to send a request to the MAS to see what it entails, we'll do that, and get it official, to see what's the cost, and if that's what we're gonna change, at least by February or March, you could send it there.
I'm gonna call the lady before the
Because we
newspaper
have to-
report is printed, so they don't say that we're trying to solicit my
And
newspaper.
what we doing, so when this first one.
But it's in the first time, that's what
I know,
it's
it's
the
not-
first time we're trying to do it.
Correct, but when you went with it the last time, we went with the books, state curriculum center, and that's something we don't want to do this time, because if we have to change and reorganize those books just by the one place, it's a process.
Well, it's
So the same thing you were saying, for the taking the books with curriculum center for this year to the place and to implement it for 16, where you're going straight, and we get rid of it.
Well, that's what they said last time, but okay.
Every year, that's what we're gonna fix it this time, I agree. That's what we've been saying, and we don't wanna make.
So what, that's basically the only consolidation.
So we only have one over here.
That's the only
We have
place
one
that we
that's
wanna
right
change.
now, so,
Other than that, we pretty much offshore, we pretty much, anything consolidated that we can consolidate is going to be reducing the amount of classrooms or spots in the existing polling sites. Specifically, Remo, Dover, correct me if I'm going wrong, Sibali, and Mola.
What do you mean?
But I just want to jump on what Ms. Fox said for a quick second.
Yeah.
And while she said that the people who next year, I have no problem with what you stated. I want the board especially, the ones who want here, who like to make noise about how these people who've been here 6 years, not last election. Everybody think it's last election when they first come in. They were here sitting down for election and then was told the next year, which you like to end sports when you lose. We have next year. But it wasn't around for almost, I guarantee 6, but I think they were even around for 8 years. Because I remember we had voted for this thing a long time ago. But people understand the process and things
Exactly,
takes.
exactly.
As long as I understand that.
I'm automation.
Like I know some of we can't get through. So at least some of the never understand like takes time and some of these stuff and this thing will go to that a long
And
time.
every time you look, it's a critical election. No, we make a change.
Correct. That's what it will happen when we got it in the first time. That was the problem.
We are having an election or preparing for one, so you know, always be in that cycle. And if we don't do it, that's why
And then,
I
well, then the next thing is
really
training. Everybody says training is the next thing too.
But I started that.
What-
And I don't mind going to court for the 3 days we shut it down, but we have to shut down because things got to get done. Just like we shut down to fix the storage room, things have to get done. If you have 3 ladies, sometimes 2 persons here, the work gotta get done. And we need this stuff automated so that the public will get accurate reports of who's registered and what we do.
I just said
We're
it-
paying for all these campaign, people coming for reports and they need correct,
If the
accurate
chair
data.
had said, we only register for Tuesday, Thursday, they would have blasted on the salt this
Exactly. So you don't
station.
blame-
But you should think, you gotta even put people control, you gotta bring up that.
I don't have nobody now.
Mr. Chair, question.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty well said and will be done, I guess, for election day, right?
What's pretty much said?
The matter of establishing the polling places change that you want to make.
There's only one
Well,
subject
I know,
to change.
I'm just saying that's pretty well done. My question is, no, but at least you're moving ahead on it. What is the schedule for educating the
Oh,
public
yeah, that's what we was supposed to.
on how to vote? People are asking
Yes,
questions. What is
ma'am.
this? Do we have to work?
Isn't that
You
part of
want to be
it?
in charge of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. No.
Are you asking me?
She would try to get to it.
If you keep asking this, because you're out of place, I'm not out of place.
You have no right.
So ask if you want to be in
You have no
charge.
right. You're out of place.
Miss Fox had
You keep asking the same thing all the time, you're very
Let's
impressed.
hear what the chair
discussed at a
says.
joint board meeting the solicitation for someone to do public relations. I assume that the public relations will also, in fact, be part of a public education process. That public relations will go out and say what will happen in terms of educating. Now, we have to be very mindful we can educate people as to how to vote and what they're doing. But we can't make up for the years that they haven't followed the rules and haven't followed directions, and the fact that they can't follow directions on a document that tells you how to vote. I mean, that has to do with literacy. And it's very difficult for us to make people well, but it's the truth. You can't, it's very difficult to make people completely understanding when in fact they may not be able to read generally on a daily basis.
It's a good question.
What's one? So we will be doing some educational thing. Again, they also include the illustration. I know you're talking about that part too. But again, we want to come up with one voice, so we're going to get a public relations person, we'll do a lot of PSAs, I'm getting samples from the World Company on what they do in the process to educate the voters. They also going to come, so we know that she has 2 more scheduled in the contract that they have to come back and training. But we need to restart the PSAs, etc. Just only that in December.
Remember the name of the company, if you can't find it, I'll have to dig in my records too. But they have a company that has a video already on the project. I agree with the new public show about the new relation, but just in case you want to be back on that one, or maybe the boss might do less money if you look only and 20 minutes or can we work with us whatever.
And also, plus, the website has the video for the DS200. I'm trying to get it in Spanish, so we try to get that also out there, so folks can look at that. So we have a good education.
Let me say something on this. With regard to Mr. Bushalta saying that I was in charge, Mabel Maduro was in charge of going to the high schools, and I was assigned perhaps to
From the board.
I volunteered from the board to go with her. We approached the high schools. The principals advised, we are sorry, but we will not be able to accommodate you because we have a shortage of teachers. We have a major problem. If you remember that year, we have a major problem in the system. I'm just saying, you may have heard, but there was a shortage of teachers and they could not allow us to come in to disrupt. It would have been disruptive. So that's the reason why nothing was accomplished there.
Okay.
But, you know,
Okay, thank you. Okay.
I answered that, but there was something else I wanted to ask.
Last thing is that for me, Miss Fox, the website. Who controls what goes up on the website? When you say we, who's we? No, that's why I asked it. Who controls?
Ms. Whitaker and myself.
And what process is there for the board to in fact have things put on the website that we want to spread out content? I mean, like education.
Yeah, I understand.
Like these days.
I'll get you a form. What you do is once you say to the meeting, then we post it for you.
Okay.
But
That's why
what I mentioned in the last meeting, any tasking that's not admin assistant directly, the deputies takes all the instructions or actions from the board and they do the tasking.
From you?
From you.
We get to you. That is not the truth. I know.
Correct.
Yes.
So this, we will go back, but I'll develop a form where you could give other ideas and things on the website, but in the meantime, anything that comes like in a discussion or a meeting, we take the information and then we will post it.
While I talk to the boss, you have to understand who did the hiring and firing.
Okay. I don't
Who
know.
hired the supervisor, deputy supervisor, Ms. Fox?
No.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have to say.
But anyway, question. Right now we don't have a calendar on the website, correct? Do we have one?
Which calendar?
Election calendar.
No.
We don't have one. We don't. So now, as of after today, you're saying that we don't need to have to write and say we want to.
These days for your district stuff.
For these district meetings, you put up on the website all the district meetings, the registration dates thus far, placed up through April, which would be to be a place and time to be announced. Those things will go up. Okay. So
Election calendar will come once we are signed.
once we sign up, I'll promote card, but you're gonna I
We'll
think.
prepare the form for the other side.
Do you need me to look at it again?
Yes, we will.
Okay. How soon do you think that will be ready?
We're working on it today, but we should get the format a little bit.
Okay.
We have some concern with some dates, so we will get it to you.
Okay. And then you get
via
to,
email and to Mr.
okay,
Brian.
you get to him and then we sign off on it. Go ahead, Miss.
Before the meeting is adjourned, can you please have all the letters for the different high schools ready? And I have no problem taking them and doing the registration.
Getting the job done.
That's my job.
Yeah, getting the job done.
No problem.
Question of Ms. Fox.
Okay.
Chair. Ms. Fox, who's handling your public relations on St. Paul?
Right now?
Yes.
Ms. Monica is doing for both sites. Yeah, she want, we have helping do the press releases and do some other things that we want. Until we hire this other person that we have.
So in the meantime, she will be, we won't have to have this Barbell. And they would be developing, you know, and programs and whatnot. I just needed to know that she will be working with them.
Okay.
I needed to know that.
Both deputies got different assignments because again, I know it's a Thomas has a control and her plate, so I split some of the duties that Ms. Whitaker is doing some.
If there's any specific dates that there's any confusion about, you know, call me, like I say, I'm back up fully, you know, on my tablet in command, but I have both things now, and both of them and BOE, and they are what is done at Yahoo. So both everything I'm fully automated again. More automated now than okay? Yeah, no, I didn't have any questions. So, any other questions, concerns that anybody wants to bring up?
I do have a question of Ms. Fox again, or the chair. If still there frowning your face or whatever, but I have a question. Ms. Fox, how can we promote education to the general public on a one-on-one basis? We talk about technology. There are quite a lot of people who don't have access to computers. You know, how do we propose to get these people involved in a one-on-one, like say for instance, a demonstration of the machine and so forth? That's my concern. I mean, if you talk about
But that's what I'm saying.
technology,
That's what I'm saying. The person that come on board will do newspaper, they'll do articles, they'll do one-on-one. I mean, if anybody want to request it to come by his office, we will show them the machine. We have it here, and so we'll explain it. That's why I make sure all the employees get trained on the DS 200 and the Atoma. So they can come by the office, and also we'll be doing press releases, newspaper articles, different things like that, flyers, etc.
more than likely in an office setting.
Correct. They could come here.
If you're waiting really, I'm doing this really, you know, so that people could know that you're doing this.
That's what the media again that we have it. Like I said, I'm going to St. John to make sure I set up their machine tomorrow, and then all 3 offices will have a machine and display for demonstration, and then we'll put out a reminder ad about those things. And we tend to forget.
And
So
you are in the
location.
process of hiring an individual who will have this task
Correct.
to deal with. Okay, thank you so much.
Anything else? Mr. Bushel, you said you wanted to say something?
I move that we adjourn.
All right, any objections? Any objections? Hearing none, means it's adjourned. Thank you. At 1:20, 1:17.
At 1:17.
1:17 p.m.
If you guys sign the book, I think most folks got their checks up to date, so again, bear with us. The transition, so hopefully the admin will come on. It's a baby. I don't know which one, I just know which one. Yeah, they don't have a paper in there. Just check your list.
Chairman.
Get paid.
Yo,
My observation out of everyone meeting was going on, I think we should be taking picture. He's supposed to be attending the weekend. Me can take my picture. Me
From your seat, we'll come take picture. Let's do that. Out of place. Out of place. And you just see a picture all over the place. All right. Yes. I just need to be.
Because when you stay by Lady Home,
What's she doing?
I need to get your version of the record.
I'm fine, how are you?
see, you bring up Guana in the courtroom. That's why you're open eye from up top.
Hi, sweetie. Because that's only how you can learn. And maybe you might, after this, you might decide that you like what you see and you want to come on board. See, there was there's a committee set up.
I just want a copy of it.
That Mr. Georges is in charge of. Maybe you might want to be a part of that. This is the same plan, you know?
What Adam's number?
It's not on file.
I'm trying to remember the name of the company, and if you can't find it, I'll have to dig in my records too. But they have a company that has a video already on the project. I agree with the new public might show the new relation, but just in case you want to back on that one, or maybe the boss might do less money in the money and 20 minutes. So how can we work with us whatever?
And also, plus we have the website has the video for the DS200. I'm trying to get it in Spanish, so we try to get that also out there, so folks can look at that. So we are going to do the education aspect. Let me say something on this. With regard to Mr. Bushota saying that I was in charge, Mabel Maduro was in charge of going to the high schools, and I was assigned perhaps to
From the board.
or I volunteered from the board to go with her. We approached the high schools. The principals advised, we are sorry, but we will not be able to accommodate you because we have a shortage of teachers. We have a major problem. If you remember that year, we have a major problem in the system. I'm just saying, we were heard, but there was a shortage of teachers and they could not allow us to come in to disrupt. It would have been disruptive. So that's the reason why nothing was accomplished there.
Okay.
But, you know,
Okay, thank you. Okay,
I answered that, but there was something else I wanted to ask.
last thing is that for me, Miss Fox, the website. Who controls what goes up on the website? When you say we, who's we? No, that's why I asked it. Who controls?
Ms. Whitaker and myself.
And what process is there for the board to in fact have things put on the website that we want to spread out and test? I mean, the education.
Yeah, I understand.
Like these days.
I'll get you a form. What you do is once you say to the meeting, then we post it for you.
Okay.
But
That's why
what I mentioned in the last meeting, any tasking that's not admin assistance directly, the deputies takes all the instructions or actions from the board and they do the tasking.
From you.
From you.
We get that to you. That is the truth. I know.
Correct.
Yes.
So this, we will go back, but I'll develop a form where you could give other ideas and things
So-
on the website, but in the meantime, anything that comes like in a discussion or a meeting, we take the information and then we will post it.
Okay.
And while I
Right now-
refer to the boss, you have to understand who did the hiring and firing.
Okay.
Who hired the supervisor, deputy supervisor, Ms. Fox?
No.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have to say.
But anyway, question. Right now, we don't have a calendar on the website, correct? Do we have one?
Which calendar?
Election calendar?
No.
We don't have one. We don't, so now, as of after today, you're saying that we don't need to have to write and say, we want to,
These days for your district stuff.
for the district meetings,
Correct.
you'll put up on the website, all the district meetings, the registration dates thus far, placed up through April, which would be to be a place and time to be announced. Those things will go up. Okay,
The
so
election calendar will come once you are signed.
once we sign up, I'll come on call, but you're gonna, I
We'll
think,
prepare the form for you all to sign.
do you need me to look at it again?
Yes, we will.
Okay, how soon do you think that will be ready?
We're working on it today, so we're changing the format a little bit.
Okay.
We have some concern with some dates, so we'll get it to you.
Okay.
And
then you
we'll
get
via
to,
email and to Mr.
okay, so
Burns.
you get to him and then we sign off on it. Go ahead, miss.
Before the meeting is adjourned, can you please have all the letters for the different high schools ready? And I have no problem taking them and doing the registration.
Getting the job done.
That's my job.
Yeah, getting the job done.
Question of Ms. Fox.
Okay.
Chair. Ms. Fox, who is handling your public relations on St. Paul? Right now? Yes. Ms. Monica is doing for both sites. Yeah, she's the one, we have been doing press releases and do some other things that we want. Until we hire this other person that we have.
So in the meantime, she would be, we won't have to have this barbell. And they would be developing, you know, and programs and whatnot. I just needed to know that she will be working with them.
Okay.
I needed to know that.
Well, deputies are the front assignments because again, as I know, it's Thomas has a lot of work and her plate, so I split some of the duties on his quicker.
If there's any specific dates that there's any confusion about, you know, call me, like I said, I'm back up fully, on my tablet in command, but I have both things now. And both of them and BOE, and they are what is done at that. So both everything I'm fully automated again. More automated now than okay. Yeah, no, I didn't have any questions. So, any other questions, concerns that anybody wants to bring up?
I do have a question of the forms again, or the chair. You still there from in your face or whatever, but I have a question. This forms, how can we promote education to the general public on a one-on-one basis? We talk about technology. We talk, there are quite, you know, a lot of people who don't have access to computers. You know, how do we propose to get these people involved in a one-on-one, like say for instance, demonstration of the machine and so forth? That's my concern. I mean, if we talk about
But that's what I'm saying.
but
That's what I'm saying. The person that come on board will do newspaper, they'll do articles, they'll do one-on-one. I mean, if anybody want to request it to come by his office, we will show them the machine. We have it here, so we'll explain it. That's why I make sure all the employees get trained. So all the DS 200 on the Automat, so they can come by the office, and also we'll be doing press releases, newspaper articles, different things like that, flyers, etc.
more than likely in office setting.
Correct. They could come here.
That you're waiting really, I'm doing this really to know so that people could know that you're doing this.
That's why yeah, again, that we have it, like I said, I'm going to St. John to make sure I set up their machine tomorrow, and then all 3 offices will have a machine on display for demonstration, and then we'll put out a reminder ad about those things, and we tend to forget.
And
So
you are in the
patients.
process of hiring an individual who will have this task
Correct.
to deal with. Okay, thank you so much.
Anything else? Mr. Bushel, you said you wanted to say something?
I move that we adjourn.
All right, any objections? Any objections? Hearing none, means is adjourned. Thank you. At 1:20, 1:17.
At 1:17.
1:17 p.m.
Thank you. Studying the book, I think most folks got their checks up to date, so again, bear with us. We're in transition, so hopefully the admin team will come on. I don't know which one, I just don't know. Yeah, they don't have a paper in there. Just check it out.
Chairman,
Get paid.
Yo,
my observation out of there when the meeting was going on, I think we should be taking picture. He's supposed to be attending the meeting. Me can take my picture. Me can
From your seat, but come take picture. Let us do that. Out of place. Out of place. And you just hear the picture all over the place. Yes. I just need to be
because when you stay my lady home,
what's she doing?
I need to get your version of the record.
see, bring a guana in the courtroom. That's why you're open eye from up top.
Hi, sweetie. And maybe you might, after this, you might decide that you like what you see and you want to come on board. No, because see, there's a committee set up. I just want a copy that Mr. Georges is in charge of. Maybe you might want to be a part of that. This is the state fund, you know.
What Adam's number? What is that? What's Adam's number?
Which I
He won't go with it.
I know. No, I couldn't hear lots of old women. He said, "Who you know?"
and let them know
It's not.